Welcome everyone. My name is Tristan Campbell, and in this Accessibility Basics tutorial, we'll be covering Word documents and creating structure, utilizing heading styles to meet accessibility guidelines. Now, the purpose of headings is to create organizational structure in a document. Screen readers are able to identify a hierarchy of information when we utilize headings. It allows for navigation. And lastly, visual meaning is transformed into spoken meaning for users who can't see the formatting. What this means, instead of hearing a block of text in a paragraph form, we can put organization and hierarchy and structure into that document. Now, some style heading guidelines. We never want to use text formatting alone, such as bolding, italicizing color, and larger font size to denote a heading or subheading. This also includes text that you want to emphasize within a document, so we'll go over that in our demo today. Instead, we want to use the predefined headings from the Styles block in the Home tab to create the hierarchy of headings and subheadings. We're also going to be covering ordered and unordered lists in this tutorial, which further organizes the text, and it helps screen readers identify lists, both using the ordered list for numbering or unordered lists for bulleting. We want to use the words numbering and multi-level list function or the bullets function in the paragraph block of the Home tab, as opposed to manually inputting dashes or manually entering numbers. This is because we want the screen reader to recognize those lists. So let's put this to practice with our demo. All right, for our tutorial and demo, I have opened up a Word document. It's a course syllabus, and I want to make sure that my students can easily navigate from section to section, especially those who may be utilizing a screen reader. So the first thing I want to do is go up to my View option and select my navigation pane. Now, when doing this, I can see where my headings and styles are. At this moment, I do not have any headings, so my students cannot easily navigate through the document. The first thing I want to do to input my heading styles is go back to my Home tab, and I want to select my styles up here. The first style I'm going to update is the title of my document, which is the name of the course. I'm going to select title. And then the second is the subtitle. Now you can see as I've selected the heading styles, my formatting has changed in my document. I will go back and reformat. Right now, my only concern is identifying these sections within my paper. So my top heading is going to be my heading 1. And then it will have a hierarchy tier. So right now I'm just selecting my control key and highlighting what I want my heading 1s to be for my paper. I'm going to go up to styles and then select heading 1. Again, the formatting has updated, but I will come back to that and then change that. Below my heading 1 is going to be my heading 2 section, which will tier under each heading 1. Again, I'm just selecting and highlighting the text, holding my control key so I can capture all of my heading 2 without having to do it one at a time. So it just saves a little bit of time and efficiency. Now, once I have my heading 2, I'm going to go back up to styles, select heading 2. And then lastly, I want to select my heading 3. I just had a little bit under some of these policies here. I want to go ahead and select those. And making sure that I'm holding my control key and selecting the heading 3s all in one go here, saving me a little bit of time and effort. Heading 3. Now, as mentioned, the formatting that has been taking place after I labeled my headings isn't what I quite wanted. So I'm going to go back up to my heading styles, right-click on this heading you want to modify, select Modify, and a window will appear that will allow me to format each heading style section. So for my title, I want to make it a little bit smaller, bold it. I want to go back and center align it. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of spacing and then click OK. And then same for my course syllabus. I want to go back up to Styles, right-click Subtitle, Modify, change it back to black. I want to bold it, center it, maybe leave the spacing for now, and then click OK. And then you can see here it's starting to modify just a hair. Same thing for my heading 1s. I want to go up here, heading 1, right-click it. And since I've already selected all of my heading 1 text, what will happen is now once I get the formatting how I would like it, if I click OK, I want to go ahead and make that back to a navy blue. Now you can see all of my heading 1s have updated all at once. All right, I'm going to do heading 2, modify it, realign that text just a hair, bold it, and click OK. And then lastly, my styles on my heading 3, which I had, I want to modify, bold, italicize, and then click the center, make sure it's aligned, and then click OK. Now you'll notice I did do some bolding, I did a little bit of color modification, but the screen readers, what they will acknowledge is that heading 1, course summary, heading 2, course description, and then the paragraph within each section. My visual learners will see the formatting as well as the navigation. So they will also have the navigation and formatting. Now you'll also notice what we discussed is numbering. For my learning outcomes, I wanted those labeled 1, 2, 3, and 4. But when I click on them, you'll notice that I am not utilizing the function, the bulleted and numerical function within the paragraph section, meaning my screen reader will not recognize that these are lists because they were manually entered. Instead, I want to remove these, highlight my section, and then select the numbering list. And now when I click on these, you'll see that it is now numbered. Same for these. I wanted these to be bulleted out, so I'm going to select them, select the bulleting option, and now the screen reader recognizes that this is a bulleted list. Lastly, we wanted to discuss emphasis. So I do have some bolded, underlined text within my document, my syllabus, that I want to emphasize and stress this information to my students. Now, what I have right here is text that I've bolded and italicized, but as you can see here, highlight, but I didn't emphasize it. So the screen reader will not recognize that this text is emphasized. Instead of utilizing the formatting up here, I want to go to my styles and I want to select emphasis, intense emphasis, or strong. Here I just want to select strong, and now you can visually see that it's bolded, but it is also emphasized in a screen reader that this is strong text that the students need to be aware of this information. All right, that is all I have for this tutorial. Next time, if you had a keen eye, there's some other accommodations and accessibility guidelines that we need to put in place for this document. So stay tuned on our next training. Thank you.